Hello, welcome to Viva's Canadian Journey. Thank you so much for watching. This is a must-watch if you are a prospective international student with a dream to come and study in Canada, or you know someone who wants to come and study in Canada. This video is very informative because there's a lot of changes that were just announced last week that are going to affect international students that want to come and study in Canada. If you want to come and study this year, 2025, and moving forward, okay? So we're going to talk about those changes, some gloom and doom, but you want to watch to the end because it's not all gloom and doom, okay? There's always there's always a rainbow at the end of the rain or storm. Let's get started. Now, if this is your first time of watching, please don't forget to subscribe. It's very easy to do so. Just hit the subscribe button so that anytime I make a new video, you would get an alert to say, there's a new video, go watch, and share if you like the content of the video. Okay, like I said, real quick, this is for international students, or if you know an international student anywhere in the world that has a dream of coming to study in Canada. I encourage people to come and study in Canada because it has a lot of advantages. Okay, you get your postgraduate work permit. You can start thinking of getting your permanent residency in a couple of years. I don't think there's any other country in the world that really offers that. Okay, really fast like that. So you're talking 4 or 5 years, you can become a permanent resident. Another 2 years, you can get your citizenship. Advantage of coming to study in Canada, and you're getting worldwide education and a renowned education. But there's been a lot of changes for international students and skilled workers. Immigration Canada is cutting down on the number of international students that they want to have in Canada next year and moving forward. Okay? The immigration minister himself, Mark Miller, said, and I quote, "Not everybody that wants to come and study in Canada will be allowed in." What Canada plans for next year is to decrease the number of international students by 10%. This does not sound like a lot, but it is a lot. And when they say decrease, one of the ways they're going to do it is they're going to tighten the criteria. They're going to make it stricter. Okay? One of the things Immigration Canada have also said is that they want to reduce the number of international students by 300,000 over the next 5 years. 300,000 over 5 years is a lot. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's because elections are coming, or it's just the way things are. Okay, so Canada is reducing the number of international students. So the first way Canada is reducing the number of international students, and they have started it, is that if you're coming as a master's student or a PhD student, you want to come and study your master's, so you come and get your PhD. Now you need a PAL, a provincial attestation letter. Prior to this news last week, you didn't need it, but now you're going to need it. Now, what the provincial attestation letter is just a letter you get from the province. So let me give you an example. If you get accepted into Nova Scotia Community College here in the beautiful province of Nova Scotia in Halifax, and you get your letter of admission, prior to this, you can just start applying for your study permits. But now, even if you're coming to do your master's or PhD, you have to get a PAL. So you have to, there's a way you can do it online. Contact Immigration Nova Scotia, send them that letter. So what they do is they will double check to make sure that yes, you've gotten this admission, and also is an approval process. The province now has to approve and give you that letter. The province has a choice not to give you that PAL letter, which is very important because you need the provincial attestation letter to get your study permit. So what they've done for masters and people who want to come and study their PhD is that they put an extra layer of scrutiny. You can call it protection, but it's an extra layer of scrutiny. Okay? Number 2, and this is extremely important, this affects postgraduate work permits. one of the main reasons why a lot of international students come and study in Canada is to get the postgraduate work permit. This is an open work permit, which you get after you've studied, you've graduated, you're not owing your school any money. You get the PGWP, and you can work with any employer in any province you know of your choice. Now, this PGWP gives you points that will count towards your permanent residency application. So it's extremely important. Okay, extremely important. Now, what they've done is the PGWP is no longer going to be given just like that. There's going to be a criteria, an extra level of scrutiny, if I put it that way. Now, before you get your PGWP, you're going to have to take Canadian language exam. Very important. So you need a Canadian language benchmark. So it could be the English or the French. It doesn't matter. So the IELTS, the CELPIP, TEF, TCF, you need to take that now. Extremely important. Now, if you're studying a master's or a PhD, you need a minimum of a CLB 7. If you're studying, one of the programs in the colleges. So if you study in a university, you need a minimum of CLB 7. If you study in a college, minimum CLB 5. So PGWPs are no longer going to be given just like that. This language criteria has been, introduced. You're going to pay for it yourself, and you're going to have to get those scores, minimum of those scores. Now, IRCC has said the introduction of this is going to reduce international students by over 50,000, because a lot of people don't want to take the test, and a lot of people probably not going to reach those scores. So please have this at the back of your mind. I know a lot of people that once they hear IELTS exam like this, it's done. So very important. PGWP is no longer going to be free on arrival. Okay. And finally, another really important change to consider is for people that are married, you're in a common law relationship, you want to come with your spouse. In the past, what Canada has done was there's what they call the open spousal work permit. So for instance, you come with your spouse can get an open work permit, which will be the duration of your course. So if you're doing a 2-year course and maybe you have a 3-year study permit, your spouse, if they apply, can get a 3-year spousal open work permit. So while you're schooling, your spouse can be working for any employer they want to, okay, and they'll be able to support financially. This was a big hit for a lot of international students because it's open, meaning the spouse can work anywhere, no limit on the amount of hours. Now, right now, there's a restriction on that. The only spouses that are going to get this open work permit are spouses of people that are coming to study masters or a PhD. Not just any masters. The masters has to be for a duration of 16 months or more. I've talked a lot on this channel about doing a master's for 12 months because it's more affordable and you still get your MSc at the end of the day or your MA. But if you're coming with your spouse and you want your spouse to be able to get that spousal open work permit, now you have to be considering doing a master's with a duration of 16 months or more. These restrictions, this change in criteria and what we see is really going to affect a lot of things for prospective international students. A bit of gloom and doom. Like when I was preparing for this video, I was like, wow, this is not good at all. Okay, but it's not all gloom and doom. Canada hasn't said we are closing the doors totally. The doors are still open. Okay, there's still some light at the end of the tunnel. Yes, immigration officers, visa officers are going to be stricter now, but you can still fulfill your dream of coming to Canada as an international student. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is watch out for next week's video, where I'm going to be talking about how you can improve your chances as an international student. It's getting stricter. It's not business as usual, you know, but like I said at the beginning of this video, there's a lot of lights and rainbow at the end of the, you know, at the end of the storm. Next week, I'll be talking with someone from HALP. I've talked about HALP a lot. As you know, it's an organization. They help international students come and study here for free. With all that is going on right now, you need their help. You need the help of an expert, because IRCC, no jokes, they're not playing. Okay, I hope you found this video really helpful. Don't forget to share and subscribe. Until next time, keep watching Viva's Canadian Journey. Thank you.